In a quaint African village steeped in ancient customs and traditions, a young woman named Io was cleaning out her late grandmother's hut. Among the dusty artifacts and relics, she stumbled upon a beautifully carved mask. Its intricate designs seemed to whisper secrets of a time long past. Intrigued, Io picked up the mask, examining its details closely. The carvings were mesmerizing, each groove and curve telling a story she couldn't yet decipher. She decided to try it on, curiosity getting the better of her. As soon as the mask touched her face, her surroundings began to distort. The air grew heavy, and visions flooded her mind. Shadowy figures danced before her eyes, ancient rituals around an old gnarled tree played out in vivid detail. The masked figures chanted in an unknown language, their voices echoing in her ears. The visions were disjointed and eerie, leaving Io breathless and confused. Tearing off the mask, she found herself back in her hut, her heart pounding. She looked around, but everything seemed normal again. Shaking off the unease, Io decided to seek answers from the village elder. The next day, she approached the elder, an old man with wisdom etched into his every wrinkle. He listened intently as she described her experience with the mask. His eyes widened with recognition. "That mask, it belonged to the guardian of the forest," he said solemnly. "It shows the past to those who wear it." That night, Io found herself drawn into the forest, guided by an unexplainable force. The shadows from her visions seemed to follow her, their whispers growing louder. She reached the ancient tree from her visions, its twisted branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. "What do you want from me?" she cried out, her voice trembling with fear. The shadows formed a circle around her, their chanting resuming in the unknown language. Just when she thought it was over, she ripped off the mask, the shadows vanishing into thin air. Relieved, she stumbled back to the village, thinking it was all a bizarre dream. But as she washed her face and looked into the mirror, a chilling realization dawned upon her. The mask's carvings were now imprinted on her face, an eternal mark of her encounter. The mask hadn't shown her the past. It had transformed her into its next guardian. Some legacies, she learned, are inescapable,